Tonight you are going to do something incredibly dangerous. You're going to lose consciousness for 8 hours. You're going to lay motionless, your eyes closed, your muscles slack, your awareness of the world completely switched off, and somehow, in almost every case, nothing is going to kill you. That feels obvious, but it shouldn't. Not when you really think about it. You're a soft, slow, nearly defenseless primate. You have no claws, no armor, no venom. Your night vision is poor, your hearing shuts down, your reaction time collapses. Every predator on Earth should be lining up outside your door. And yet, here you are, morning after morning, waking up alive. Why? The answer is not what you think. It is not because predators are afraid of you. It is not because humans are at the top of the food chain. It is something far older, far stranger, and far more fragile than that. It is a collection of overlapping accidents, evolutionary, behavioral, neurological, that came together over millions of years to protect you during the most vulnerable hours of your existence. Start with what sleep actually looks like from the outside. When you sleep, you become a different animal. Your breathing changes, your body temperature drops, your muscles enter a state called atonia during REM sleep, a kind of temporary paralysis that stops you from acting out your dreams. You go completely still. You emit very little scent compared to a moving, sweating, stressed body. You make almost no sound. To a predator relying on motion detection, you barely exist. This is not an accident. Evolutionary biologist Jerome Siegel at UCLA has spent decades studying sleep across species and found something remarkable. Animals with the fewest natural predators tend to sleep the longest and most deeply. Animals that are heavily preyed upon sleep in short, fragmented bursts, always half ready to bolt. But humans, somewhere along our evolutionary path, developed the capacity for long, consolidated sleep. That suggests something was protecting us. Something had shifted in our relationship with the predator world. That something was fire. For at least 1.7 million years, your ancestors slept around fire. The oldest known sleeping sites with evidence of fire date back roughly 400,000 years in South Africa. But indirect evidence suggests fire control goes back further, possibly to Homo erectus. Fire changes everything. Predators that hunt by night, lions, leopards, hyenas, are hardwired to avoid flame, not because they learn it is dangerous, because the ones that didn't avoid fire did not survive to pass on their genes. Fire aversion is baked into the predator's nervous system the same way height aversion is baked into yours. Your ancestors did not just sleep near fire. They slept in groups around fire, in elevated positions when possible, often in caves or rock shelters with limited entry points. Researcher David Sampson at the University of Toronto has studied modern hunter-gatherer sleep and found that these communities still sleep in staggered patterns, different members of the group naturally falling into lighter and deeper sleep at different times. Someone is always in a lighter stage, always closer to waking. The group functions as a collective alarm system even while unconscious. This is one of the most important things about your sleep that you have never been told. You do not sleep the same way every night, and you do not sleep the same way as everyone around you. Your sleep is socially calibrated. Your nervous system is tracking who else is awake. But what about the predators themselves? Why don't they simply learn to bypass these defenses? Here's the counterintuitive truth. Most large predators are not primarily interested in humans. They're not scared of you exactly, but they are conservative hunters. A lion that misjudges a hunt risks a broken jaw, a gored eye, a pulled muscle. Any injury that compromises a predator's ability to hunt is potentially fatal, so they hunt what they know. They hunt prey that fits a learned template, the shape, the smell, the movement pattern of the animals they have successfully taken before. A sleeping human, wrapped in fabric, unmoving, emitting low-stress hormones, does not match that template. Wildlife biologist Craig Packer at the University of Minnesota, who has studied lion predation in the Serengeti for over 40 years, found that lions almost always attack humans when those humans are alone, moving at night, or behaving unpredictably, not when they are sleeping in groups with any kind of shelter or fire. The predator's risk calculus is not moral. It is mathematical. You become a target when you look like prey that can be safely taken. A sleeping human in a group, near fire, does not compute as safe prey. There's something else happening at the neurological level that you have probably never considered. Your sleeping brain is not off. It is active, filtering, processing, and one of the things it is continuously doing is monitoring your environment for threat-relevant sounds. Researchers Juliana Brouwer and her colleagues at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology have studied how sleeping humans process sound and found that the brain responds more strongly to names and soft, irregular sounds than to loud, steady noise. Your sleeping brain is tuned to anomaly, to things that don't fit the pattern, the snap of a twig, the change in air movement, a change in the rhythm of another person's breathing nearby. This is your ancestral alarm system, still running in the background every night. And here's where it gets strange. The very thing that keeps you most vulnerable, REM sleep, the paralysis stage, the deep dream stage, appears to also be the thing that keeps you most safe. Because during REM, you are the quietest version of yourself. Your stress hormones are at their lowest. Your scent is minimal. Your stillness is absolute. You have become, in biological terms, almost invisible to a predator's sensory world. The ancient humans who twitched, who moved too much, who emitted fear scent during sleep, they were found. The ones who went still and silent in the deepest moments of unconsciousness were the ones who survived to become your great ancestors. Your ability to sleep deeply is not a luxury. It is a survival trait. But this protection is not magic. It is not infinite. It has limits that your modern life is eroding right now. When you sleep alone, you lose the collective alarm system. When you sleep without fire or its modern equivalent, consistent light and smell signals that predators associate with human occupation, you remove one layer of protection. When you sleep with high cortisol, with elevated stress hormones flooding your bloodstream, you are broadcasting a scent profile that says vulnerable and unwell. Predators notice, not consciously, not with intent. But their nervous systems are running the same ancient calculation they always have. This is what Craig Packer's research keeps returning to. The humans taken by predators at night are almost always isolated, stressed, and exposed. The ancient formula for protection was simple. Group, fire, shelter, stillness. Every time you break one of those conditions, you nudge yourself slightly back toward the vulnerable end of the spectrum. Now think about your average night. You are alone, in a sealed box, in the dark, with no fire, with your phone next to your head, pulsing with notifications that your nervous system reads as low-grade threat signals all night long. Your cortisol never fully drops. Your sleep is fragmented. You cycle in and out of lighter stages more than your ancestors ever did. And your morning grogginess, the 15th foggy confusion researchers call sleep inertia, is worst when your deepest sleep is interrupted. You're technically safe from lions, but your brain doesn't know that. Your nervous system is still running the ancient software. It is still checking for the fire, still listening for the footstep that doesn't belong, still monitoring the breathing of the people sleeping near you, except there are no people. So it keeps one ear open all night, waiting for a threat that never comes and a safety signal that never arrives. This is the hidden cost of sleeping alone in a modern world. Not predators, but the evolutionary expectation of protection that your brain cannot stop looking for. For 99% of human history, sleep was a communal act. A fire was burning, someone was nearby, and the predators, running their ancient calculations, decided the risk was not worth it. Tonight, when you close your eyes, nothing is going to kill you. Not because you are powerful, not because the night is safe, but because millions of years of evolutionary engineering made you quiet enough, still enough, and smart enough to survive the 8 hours when you had no choice but to disappear. And in the deep silence of your safest sleep, that ancient instinct is still watching, still listening, still waiting to be sure.